Hi again, folks. Welcome to Blue and Gold Talk, the video on the channel. I just blab away and you listen or you close the video and say, I can't take this guy anymore. I'm sick of him. All he talks about is the Sabres and there's other channels. Well, I'll go to them then. There you go. All right, guys, I wrote it down. Usually I don't. You guys know that from Blue and Gold Talk. Right. I'm calling this one, guys, expect backlash from our success this year. Because yeah, I believe it's going to be a successful season, guys. I'm just convinced of it. So I'm approaching this video on that context, that this is going to be a successful year. How successful? I don't know. No clue. Could be 50 wins. It could be 45. I don't know. I just don't know. But I do expect backlash from our haters. But I could tell you that with those trolls, here's an idea, okay? With the trolls like that, what I would suggest, guys, is when it starts this year, I'm gonna suggest to them ahead of time, if they're watching this video, that go out now, buy your Sabres memorabilia now, autographed memorabilia now, because it's gonna skyrocket in value by the end of the year. So now's the time to get it for the trolls. I'll tell you guys right now. Go out there, buy autographed Dylan Cousins, Tage Thompson jerseys. Get your hands on this stuff now, trolls, because you're going to need to if you're in this to make money too. Now's the time to jump on this stuff because it's going to skyrocket in value. It's only a matter of months now that this team and anything to do with this team is going to go up in value because we're too good not to. And we're just going to be so good this year that I'm preparing for stuff like this, you know, like there's going to be, I'll be banning some people. I know it. They're going to be coming by and, the Sabres organization is still a joke. And, you know, they'll try anything to get under our skin because most of them are jealous. Most of them don't have a prospect pool like us. Most of them don't have a team with a future like ours, you know, and it's okay. We suffered for it. We deserve it. We earned it as fans. I don't feel bad for these other fans. I mean, you know, Toronto fans have had their chance. They just keep blowing it every year. You know, do you ever notice, guys, anybody that signs with the Maple Leafs says, I came here because I want a chance at winning the Stanley Cup. It's the same PR thing they all say. They all say it. They all know by going to Toronto. All know by going to Toronto, they're going to get overpaid. Okay, they'll be able to walk on management all they want. They're going to be able to get endorsements even if they're not great players. A guy like Domi could get endorsements just because his dad played out there. And they'll always say, I wanted a chance at winning a Stanley Cup, when they know outright that this team doesn't come close to winning the cup every single year. So they should stop with the same PR crap that they do every year, these players. What they should do is say, I want to be part of the solution. I want to try and help this team advance in the playoffs. Because I've seen a good team for the last 7-8 years do nothing. And I used to have this argument with people online. I remember when the Leafs were young and just starting out, and there was one fan that said, I want the Sabres to have a team like Toronto one day. I said, no, no, we don't. No, we don't. We don't want a guy like John Tavares as our captain. No. We don't want to pay a guy like John Tavares $11 million. When they signed him for that money, honestly, I knew that was kind of the end of Toronto's chances right there. Right there. One dumb contract will end a Stanley Cup, in my opinion. And Dubas tried to rush it over there. So we can't do that here, guys. We have to be very patient. If we're going to sign anybody to that kind of money, it's going to be a guy named Rasmus Dahlin, 7-8 years later, who's dominating the league coming into his prime. Not a guy who's leaving whatever prime he had, because the truth is, I don't even think Tavares had a prime. And a forward like that, they're a dime a dozen. You can find them. They're not hard to find. You draft one. It's not hard to find. Look at the Sabres, how many they have now. It's not hard to find. A blue liner, that's different. That's hard to find. That's why Toronto, if you look at the last 20 years, Toronto never had blue liners, guys. This is why they don't win. They don't have a Rasmus Dahlin, an Owen Power, a Samuelson. I mean, Riley's not bad. I do want to have his back in this comment here. I don't know where this is going, but it just, the Toronto came into my head. I will give credit where it's due there, okay? He deserves a bit of credit because he takes a lot of slack in Toronto, and come playoff time, he pretty much shows up, okay? So I want to leave him off the hook with that comment. So guys, I think this is what we have to look forward to this year. We're going to have some backlash, probably be Toronto fans like coming into our lounges and stuff and having a bit of fun at our expense, which is fine. My goodness, it means the rivalry's back at least, my God, you know? We need to have this rivalry while Toronto's still good. I want to have this rivalry. I don't want to have this when Toronto's on the downswing and we're on the upswing, you know? I mean, imagine if our, you know, and I don't think it'll be Tampa. What a boring rivalry that would be. Does it get any more boring? Tampa Bay is our rivals? Come on, you know? No. Boston will always be a rival. Montreal will always be a rival because they go back to the days of the Adams division, you know? These are like forever rivals. I think Ottawa and Buffalo will be good rivals again once Ottawa, because Ottawa's building a good team over there, guys. I like what they're doing. I do. That Ottawa team is going to be good. That Ottawa team will be a team that gets in the way of us eventually winning a Stanley Cup. They're a team that could be a bump in the road, whereas Sabres are having a fantastic season, but we got to go through Ottawa no matter what. So that's going to be something to look forward to in the future. And I think by then Toronto will be done. Looking at our division, you know, Boston pretty much will be done. They're getting, you know, their main guys are pretty much gone now, and Marchand's at the end of his career also. So, you know, that Boston team, though, I believe will continue to be a winning franchise. They've been winning for 50 years, guys. I don't see them, because they might have to tweak that dressing room a bit. I don't see them crashing and burning. Not the Bruins, no. Toronto, I could see it because they've done it historically. Tampa Bay, yes, they've done it too historically. They've crashed and burned also, but they had their era. It's just too bad for their fans. It was COVID cups, you know? That sucked for their fans. That they hit their peak when no fans could literally go, literally, you know? Except the finals against Montreal, yeah, but it was kind of a boring final still. You know, I mean, there's no fans in Montreal, really, so like, and then, you know, when I look at Florida, they're pretty much, it's the money, the problem in Florida, I think. So there's a lot, you know, there's a lot of teams I can just pinpoint right away what I think the problem is with them. The only team that comes out, and I think Detroit's way overrated because of Yzerman, and we want to keep it that way, guys. As Buffalo fans, we want Yzerman to stay as general manager in Detroit. We want that, okay? I'll say that right now. We want Yzerman to stay, because that rebuild is just, it just keeps going in circles. So this is what we want. They're running in circles in Detroit, and their fans are all for it, so let's hope that stays like it is. But this Ottawa team, I think, will be the team that's going to be the real challenge in the future. That's what I think. That's what I believe. This Ottawa team is going to be right up there with us, guys. The good news is we've been better with our money. Slightly. We're going to have to see, because they've, and I don't think the Sanderson contract's a bad one, guys. I don't think it's a bad one. It's an overpay for sure, without a doubt. The Stützle, they're all bragging about the Stützle contract. There's nothing to brag about. We have a better one with Tage. You don't see me bragging about that. Really, the Tage contract is way better than the Stützle contract. Way better. He's making over $1 million less, and he's a better player. So, you know, no. Tage is a beast, and we've got awesome contracts in Buffalo. If we could get one more, which would be Dahlin, if we could get a fair one, I'd be for signing him for the 5 years, guys. If it's under 10. You know what I mean? I'd be for it, because within that, because we have to win the cup inside of 5 years. You get what I'm saying? I think this would work for us if we did the 5-year thing. We have to win a cup inside of 5 years anyway. I'm thinking of just a cup. I'm not just thinking of how long we have Dahlin locked in for. Okay, so he might be locked in a few less years. Okay, so we give him another contract 5 years from now. We'll worry about it then. We can do that with one person. You know, I'm not dead against a 5-year deal, just for the record. I'm not dead against it. So we pay him a bit more in the future when hopefully by then we'll know the cap is up. Because if it isn't, then we'll know, no, Rasmus, we're not going to go crazy and kill our team for you. It's not happening. So we'll see what happens with that soon enough, right? I'm going to just say it, 6 years at 10 million bucks. I think that's where it's going to land. All right, done. I got another one coming your way. See you now.